My name's Olivia, and I decided to focus my social media deep dive on BeReal. So, for those of you who have never used BeReal, it was invented in 2020 by two French entrepreneurs, Alexis Barria and Kevin Perrault. And although it was invented then, it really took off in 2022. Um, Business Insider notes that there was a 315% increase in downloads of the app at the beginning of that year. And at its peak, it had 73.5 million users, but now is at 23 million. In terms of demographics, the US and France have the most users, and primarily women make up the majority of users. Specifically, women aged 16 to 25 make up 73% of US users of BeReal. Now, a little demo on how to use the app. Once a day, the app will send everyone a notification that it's time to post a BeReal. And when that happens, you have 1 minute to take a picture of using both your front camera and your back camera. Typically, the front camera is of you, the back camera is about the world around you. And this is done so that users can take a moment of time and really show their friends what their real lives look like. So it's really meant to promote an authentic social media platform where you can see how people really live their everyday lives. And this really points to one of some of the main features of BeReal and many of its main affordances, which is that because you're only able to post once a day, that's one of the main features. There's less pressure to post. You don't have to worry about if you're posting enough, if you're posting too much, because everyone is only able to post once a day. And in this sense, it also creates a community because you're all doing this action together at the same time. One student who was interviewed by the New York Times mentions that in a class that they once had in university, the BeReal notification came up and everyone pulled out their phones, and it really generated a sense of belonging. On the flip side, because of the way it's structured, and that you get one post a day, there's much less autonomy as a user. There's very little that you get to do other than post at that time and see what others have posted. On the flip side, there's also the pressure of being authentic, which is something we'll also get into in terms of the cons. But one of the constraints is that because you have to post the BeReal the moment that it's you get the notification technically. However, you could also post a late BeReal. So this idea that it's everyone being authentic isn't necessarily true because you can always wait and post at a time where maybe you're doing something more interesting. So there are a lot of pros to BeReal. As I mentioned, there's a sense of honesty and truth and authenticity. As the Tricoci reading points out, there's a lot of superficiality online and a feeling that you have to look and act a certain kind of way. And the joys of BeReal are that it tries to strip all of that from the social media platform and really focus on looking at what your friends are doing in their real lives. Now, there's also cons to this. The Snyder reading points out, for instance, that BeReal gives a very narrow understanding of what authenticity is. It's by their rules. It means posting once a day, and that's it. So it really doesn't offer kind of multiple understandings of how we might see authenticity. Similarly, there can be embarrassment and insecurity if you see that your friends are posting BeReals at concerts and with friends, and you feel like you're just at home every day. This can create quite a bit of insecurity for people and really hurt their self-esteem. Now, if we look at what current articles are saying about BeReal, we can see that it's generally negative. New York Times points out, for instance, that there are declining numbers. One quote states, people were starting to realize it's not necessarily this promise of authenticity and realness that they were expecting it to be. I think this points to many of the cons that I listed, that when you have the feature of being able to post late, and you have this very narrow definition of authenticity, this creates an environment that isn't as real as it's saying that it's going to be. Similarly, Vogue points out that it's become a bit of a ghost town. Very few people use it, but they also point to a general decline in the use of social media platforms as more people move to wanting to foster in-person relationships. Now, this isn't to say that BeReal isn't a great social media platform and that we shouldn't use it to the best of its abilities. And this is what I've done in my social science classroom in order to teach Irving Goffman's dramaturgical theory. So this theory looks at presentation of self through a front stage and backstage conception. And so using BeReal, I have students take a picture of themselves to demonstrate their own understanding of their self or the backstage, and then use the back camera to have them explore how they feel that they have to present themselves to the world at the front stage. And I think it's a very helpful tool because it helps students connect this concept to their real life and through a tool that they use every single day. So I think it's very beneficial. These were the lovely sources that I used. Thank you very much.